Tap Talk is the Drinking Water in Rural America podcast. Here's a peek at episode 3.
So switching gears, you mentioned lead. We were talking the other day. It's kind of one of the biggest health threats in private wells. Why do you feel that way? And it is a big issue for sure. But how does it affect private well owners versus what you see like in Flint, Michigan, or Galesburg, Illinois, or any of the communities that have lead issues?
Yeah, and it's a common misconception among people is lead is an urban problem. It's in these older parts of cities where they have lead lines, and they never think about it being in private water systems. And I've worked with lead ever since I started. It was one of the first research projects that I got involved with, was looking at lead in private water systems. And it's just such an insidious pollutant because it has no symptoms whatsoever, but yet if you look down through the health effects that lead can cause, pretty much anything you can think of can come from lead pollution in water. It's just a terrible thing to get, especially for children. It really targets infants and young children, and the combination of the lack of symptoms and how just terrible it is for children really got me more interested in trying to do more outreach on lead, and the fact that most private water system owners never think about it. They just think it's a city problem. And so we've done several research projects looking at lead, and it's one of those few things though where there's good news. Actually, it's getting less common. The regulations are having an effect over time. When I first started, we were a little over 20% of the private water systems in Pennsylvania had more than the action level of lead, above 15 parts per billion. So about 1 in 5 homes had a lead problem that were on a private water system. Now we're down closer to about half of that. We're down to about 10%. And that's because of the federal regulations that have removed lead from the solders and from the fixtures. So most newer homes now don't have any source of lead coming from the plumbing, and the lead is almost never in the source water. It's all coming out of the plumbing components. So it is a success story, but we still have a ways to go. Eventually, it's something that we'll rarely hear about, right? Because this trend will continue as more and more people in older homes are replacing plumbing. They're going to remove that lead, and we're going to continue to see a decline in this over time. But it's just such a terrible pollutant that even when it's down at 5% or 2%, that's still a lot of people that are exposed to a pollutant that really has nasty health effects.
You can listen to the full episode and learn more about the show at drinkingwaterpodcast.org.